Okay, we're coming up on 2 o'clock in the morning. This is going to be the blue zone. That's going to last for 4 hours. Then we have the next zone, which lasts for 4 hours. Then we have a gap of 4 hours. And then we have another 4-hour session. But the last 15 minutes, half hour, it looks like it's not coming through here because, I don't know. My cutoff time's wrong in the indicator. But let's just assume that that box goes all the way to the last half hour. Missing that last bar. Half hour chart. So if we take we try reversals only. I think I'm going to throw some tickets in here. So based on this area, and it's below the U.S. session, you got this cute little top becoming a bottom. In other words, the closing price, it really depends which trade you want. If you got a tight enough spread, so you could trade this with the right size tickets, the right size stops actually. Size of the tickets based on how much money you have. Okay, so we got we got this box here, which is a big deal for the scalpers. And then the breakout traders have their buy stops all sticking on top of this obvious session high. So like the guy yesterday I was making fun of, the supply and demand guy, what particularly is the trade plan for this? How do you make money on this pattern, by the way? You know, you got resistance 3 times banging on the half hour line charts. So line charts are better than candlesticks because candlesticks are just a fad. Also, what if you were to be a daredevil and buy this pullback just because it took out the 4 hour, just nicked the wick? It rips up about 30 pips. Could have done that trade. You could have you could have put your actually sell limits at the top of this 4-hour box, and in the next 4-hour box, it wicked up in. So are you going to trade the drama? Are you going to get it before the drama, or are you going to get it into the drama on the way back from the edge of the drama? So I'd say current trade plan needs to be something like, we're going to sell up here. We don't know, but we're going to sell up here. We're going to buy down here all day long. And the cool thing about this indicator is the look back is these bars are the last known knowable ATR right now. So I go up to hyper speed now. Fast playbacks. Just imagine you're going to buy in that box and somehow you're going to cash out of that box. There's a 100 pip grid. So based on this 100 pip grid thing, okay, we're short right now. We're short on something into that box. And that is the half hour chart. And also every half hour, we sell, if it's up X amount of pips, we will sell with X amount of stops. So we're going to curve fit to every trade. And now we're short on 20K. Now we're short 24K. Like you got to size this landscape, this new real estate up here. This could go to the moon. How often can it go up this year? Asking it to go up now. How many pips? Like you really think it's going to go up there? Okay. So you may be afraid it's, oh my God, what if it goes up here? Like this is in one day 500 pips. Unfortunately, I can't zoom out. I'm just playing back the market. So right now you're on the winning side. You just got out of the top of the box, right? You have to get out of something. Now you could still be holding the shorts, looking for a full tilt crush down into this new. So these boxes keep forming around. And now you can be flat. So that would have been your scalp of the morning. This is like coming into the new highs of the previous day. It's a day from here to here. Like here's a day. And, you know, the ICTs are going to say, well, so you can't see the order block comes back to here. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Right, the round number. Yeah. I mean, but also you can make the argument that it's just clearing. There's a little shelf here that clears out. The market really is on a search and destroy mission as far as it takes out this vacuum, then it's going to take out this vacuum. You see, it's just there to just, you know, now crush down. These guys are hoping for the full tilt auction where you take out the low of the previous day, you took out the high of the previous day, now you're going to come wrap around. Now this could happen. So there's a million scenarios. The high probability ones are stuff like, okay, it's going to crush this little vacuum. It's going to come and retest the highs. Will it crush north? Okay, what if you take half the position off here and let the rest go? If you just trade it like that all day long, you know, you scalp the, here the hard part, the scalping is that if you're going to scalp this under the desk, table, head slam stuff, see now, if you're still holding your short, don't you feel like a genius? But there's buyers coming in right here now. So it's a constant ebb and flow, I think they call it. I mean, I don't want to be cliche, but it's ebb and flow. Now they're crushing this vacuum. So I would have buy limits in here, I'm certain, on something. And the breakout traders, all the hedge makers just made money. If they have good ratios, they dropped a leg now. They're okay. That's the end of the day. Last 4 hours, we've come back all the way back to Asia. We can't get out of the Asian prices, closing prices. So the cool thing about I made this yellow to emphasize this is a close. This is the end of the day. This is the beginning of the day, the end of the day. It's in an uptrend on daily close. You don't need to go to the daily chart, right? So why do people trade on the daily chart if they're trying to scalp? I don't know. So the guy was saying, yeah, just because you're on that, just because you're half-hour chart, you could be a trend trader. I'm just closing prices connected. Right? Draw a trend line on the closing price. It's a big deal. Now there's all of this supply to go after, or demand, depending where you're at. So are we going to crush? Now this is going to be, if this is a look back to a 30-year low, this may be just catastrophic. But of course, if you have 20 pip stops, you're never going to notice, right? You're just going to get taken out of that trade. It's not going to be like the end of the world. Now, if you have 300 pip stops, it is the end of the world. I mean, not the end of the world, but you're going to take, you're going to be on $30 per ticket on a 1K as you buy into this on the 100 handle. So the biggest problem in forex is people can't get their brain around the leverage factor. By the way, we did not, so we come, here's the low. We have not taken out the low today, so I suspect there's going to be serious drama here. If you put in, and here's the ultimate bottom tick Betty price. Right here. So we can throw up the analysis. It's just pricing. Now the time does matter. Now that's 2 o'clock in the morning, and all the scalpers are dumping into this floor because they bought this. They finally got the Asian low price again. Just a slightly, so the market just kind of has this tendency to never go anywhere. It just comes back to these same prices. It's very disappointing. Frankly, I think the market needs an education in what it's supposed to be doing so I can make money in a logical manner, but it just keeps coming. So right there, you take this out by, what, 3 pips or something? Oh my God, there's plants in the room here. Stuff's growing. I got pollen up my nose. So we come back to this floor, the top of that box, slamming off that. So now they're hoping for an engulfment in an auction and take out the high of the day. So it's very perverse, I would say. If you bought here and you're still holding, you're like, yeah, we're going to come back to the close of that, and then we're going to end up. So it's kind of like pick the closing price. Do you think we're going to end here? So test yourself on the ending, I guess. Or do you think we're going to end up in a top tick Tommy to the here? What does it keep? Okay, so here, we go here, or are we going to just end up here? Are we going to end up here? Are we going to end up here? Like, so pick your thing. Of course, anything above here has to be like, my God, there's got to be sellers there. And then we just came back to the closing prices again. I would want to be out of this trade by now. Maybe step back and just come in with limits here. Selling into this looks a little frightening for me, only because I would want to put my sell banks in this shelf, starting from the top down. So always start away and come into the market. So start in the outskirts of town. High probability sell window is here. You missed the long train. You didn't hold it. It may go full auction and take out the high the previous day now. But you're going to take this sell scalp in this box, and there's a sell. So you have a sell rack here, and it's getting it just right so that if the market does come back to the breakout point, now you're selling, and here's my bigger tickets are up here. Well, there's just more tickets. Then this is the ultimate sell zone, and there may be FOMC coming out here, I don't know. But that's literally 8 hours if you were to load the wagon, because this goes back deeper. So this is kind of a shallow vacuum here. And this is your super, like, God knows what's this. Also, if you look back to the left of these prices, there could be some ungodly deep 50-year high, you know. And that would be frightening if you had, $20 stops on a 10K. That's going to be a $200 hit. So here's selling, and all this stuff here. Scalping to the, so the scalpers just got out there just for a millisecond. Now it's just ungodly, right? And it did go full auction, and you fucked up if you did not buy this, right? This, and then but since you fucked up, it doesn't mean you can't be short into this. And I would be seriously short into the top of that. Coming out at the bottom of the, so if I'm short like out of my mind short, I got to cash out to the bottom of that white box. I got to take something off there, right? So, but these were big tickets. Don't forget, the biggest tickets are just outside of, like, people losing their mind prices, you know. So that did go full auction. We took out the low of the previous day, 2 days previous, the low of this day for sure, for certain, and you took out the high of that day. So this is the small body. This is the engulfing candle. If we close up, and I was saying, what do we close up here or do we close down here? So we did this whole, I don't know what day of the week this is, but so these kind of things do set up. I think the problem is, gosh, I'm going to need a 30 pip stop, a 20 pip stop. Yeah, you're going to pick out all the close for the pattern. So you do have to pick out the wardrobe in all these tickets, really. And we did close up here. So we actually closed, kind of trapping these people, though, you know. So coming into Asia now, if you're still short, I'm like, holy shit. But now that everything else starts over now, there's nothing matters now. You have to delete all these objects. And so you have to rebuild your trade plan now. Say you are short. So you're looking for a crush into this now. And if you're not in any position and you want to go short, obviously you need to sell new highs. So it's a very daunting task. If you're still holding your short from here, You're loving it. Now you just dipped into the box, coming into, just took out the low Asia. Are there buyers coming in here? I'd be getting out. Like, so, this is the only pivots that matter now are these. Anything to the left, other than looking to the left of the highest high, looking back, nothing else matters. So I'm just a buyer into this window here, and then here's the other, deep shelf. Now these all become buy zones. So it's just, the market just never goes anywhere. It's really terrible. It's really not right, because we want it to go. The trend traders want this thing to keep going up, and it's just meandering. It's just torture. So, it's very difficult. And people want to put a moving average on this thing. I just don't think it really is supply and demand. Okay, so the guys that went long here are loving it. They're like, yeah, take out this and take out that and just keep going up. And of course, the trend line says, yes, it's going up, it's going up. Closing prices. Right, it's closing higher every close, no matter what happens during the day, it's closing high. At the end of the day, that's what the kids say. At the end of the day, now here's 2 a.m. Europe just opened, and I'm buying all this shit down here. It's like, okay, we're buy. And that's when you're sleeping, And you have to reserve enough capital to get in heavier in this box than this crush. If you're short from here, you are a fucking genius, right? Are you not? And you're looking at this void going, man, that's really going up too fast now, isn't it? Like a child could see that. Trapped in the top tick Tommyville. Now coming back to this sweet spot, this shelf. This vacuum's been crushed. Straight down. 90 minutes straight down. High drama. The next box starts at 6 o'clock in the morning, and this goes till 10 o'clock in the morning, then 10 o'clock to 2 p.m., 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's over. So this is all autofill. This is literally, your trade plan consists of buying this box, cashing out on something to the top of that box, and maybe ride it to the middle, which I call fair value of this giant box that's formed now. And that's it. Now, this is a high probability trade, but like if you're from Canada and you started buying too heavy, like you bought 40 standard lots, right? You got to buy 60 standard lot. Like you really got to be that guy, but you're going to make so much money. I'd say conservatively, get out here, closing prices from the day before, maybe. This is so crazy because if you put a hedge on here, you just made so much fucking money. Literally so why do people trade on stop entry, and why do they want to do that? Why are confirmation, I was making fun of the confirmation guy yesterday, but seriously, people, like the confirmation guy's argument is I put a sell stop here, I put a buy stop here, I got filled on the short side, my ratios were here, I got out. What are you talking about? Okay, that's great. Well, but if you put this hedge on and you thought, fucking A, they're in the buyer's window, should I get out? Like, holy shit. I'd take the whole thing off, to be honest with you, in forex, because I've been lying up to this point, but I'll get out. So, I almost want to buy some here. I don't know if I put a sell limit here. So some people would say, well, this is a bottom, this should become a top. I'll put a sell limit here, and when the market comes here, I'll come there and I'll go. I don't know. I don't want to wait for that trade. I'm going to go Paula Cole on this one. I don't want to wait for the trade to be over by Paula Cole. Oh, so this is a fear of missing out, right? That song's all about that. So this box is ripe for the pickings to buy, and this is crazy buy. And isn't this the craziest buy zone? But I don't know. But you know what'll happen sometimes? I don't know if this day coming up, but FOMC comes out at the let's see, now this is 10 o'clock, so it's at the end of this blank box. So just in that last strip, when FOMC does come out, it'll be this last part, because that starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I think. So we're closing up, we're wrapping up. You made it back to the prices from, this is also the market profile idea that you're looking back to the most popular prices. Well, the most recent. I don't think this much matters anymore, but now everybody's going to probably cash out here. I certainly would. I'd be out of that trade so hard, and the sellers are coming in here. But will they be able to do the scenario that everybody's imagining? And so people extrapolate way out into the future on these things. They go, well, it's going to go like this, and it's going to go like that. I'm like, okay, dude, but seriously, you could have just made so much fucking money just buying this and dumping into the floor. And look how it's coming back now. So if you're really quick on the draw. So at 10 o'clock, this is going to be the report on, you can set up these sessions to any kind of news thing. So you say, well, at 10:30 this thing's going to turn color. So it's about 10:30 right now. Natural gas report, topic on the bottom. It's just meandering. So notice the big problem here is that, say you're in a big position and you're like, dude, I'm getting in here. I'm going to hold it till here. But the meandering along the way, this is what would drive you crazy. It's like, I bought this thing, man. I'm long here. Oh my God. Then, fuck, I could have got out here, but I'm going to hold it because I think it's going to go take out the high of the day. It just keeps screaming and it's going to close up here. It's going to be insane. And this could be FOMC coming out here. I don't even know. But the idea that the market fills these holes and comes flying back and it does all this search and destroy, and the volatility, so my robots that are triggered by volatility are going to come out and say, let's start running deep tickets, right? My robots, or me, I'm designed, I'm a robot. So here, like, look at the volatility here and here. Well, this is dramatic. So maybe, but I don't see any triggering of anything there. This is a big up move. Okay, now it starts putting in limits, big. You would have picked up a few tickets. Here, high drama. All right, well, how close do we get on that? So I can't do it like that. It has to be every half hour it's screaming up, it's throwing limits in, right? Every half hour it's screaming up, the robot needs to be throwing limits in. Or you need to get out in front of it. Like, get out in front of it. Go, yeah, God damn it. Sure, that was Parmesan cheese on the carpet. Absolutely. What do you think I was? Actually, it was Reggiano, so I didn't feel too bad. All right. So here's another supply zone forming. So they just kind of form. And then we got these, and we got the sell window here. But for me, I'd be done for the day. I'd be done. I'd be so tired. Like this, if you had bought this, think about it. Here's your buy zone. You dump full auction, or you sell. Back comes all the way back to the starting gate. So the big heartbreaker is that if you bought here and you didn't get out here, you're like, fuck, man. Geez, I guess I should have got out on this rally. All right. Tomorrow's another day. So here's the new sell shelves, I guess I'll call them, forming. This one. And now these look scary to me. Like, holy shit! Like, if we ever come down here, they're going to be a bloodbath. It's what you don't see coming, I guess. You know, your moving average isn't going to save you from this stuff. This is just too hard. If they start, and so you're forming a triangle too now. got this situation going on. So this is pretty deadly. Now, either way, smashing up or down. And closing prices are in a downtrend, I guess you could say. If you connect the dots here, the truth of the matter is you close down in the day. There's all these shenanigans. So these are 30-minute auctions. You know, this is like an auction within an auction. Crazy stuff. But now we're starting to get an apex going. We're going to start clearing out this vacuum and this vacuum. So to me, the triangle isn't about the triangle. It's about the space around it. And, okay, here comes European Open. Look at this thing just sneaking out. It reminds me of the mice in my house trying to get across the fucking room here. But honestly, trend lines do work. You just have to realize the trend line is nothing but cordoning off a area at the market. And closing prices only, though. So here, but you just hit the trend line. See, it respects my trend lines. I don't know why it doesn't respect your trend line. So, but this is the triangle. Here's the trap. So you could have sold this for the scalp, but it looks like it's going to be a crush up or down pretty hard here. So the fastest play. It's a half-hour chart, so you don't have to trade every day. But I think this is going to be crazy if it comes down here. It's going to be crazy if it comes up here. So this is just a big ass drifty triangle. You know, kind of like this one here. You know, finally it resolves. We're just sitting on the sidelines. You could wait for the end of the day. Now this is something that I'm not good at, so that's why I trade the demo. So if you can't resist trading, just trade the demo. Put sell limits up here. So just play it out on the demo, and just get used in playback mode here, and then go to a real demo. So this is even more removed from just rehearsing your trade plans is all I'm doing. But you really need to rehearse on the weekends if you're going to be a full-time, if you're going to really do it, right? Like people that do stuff, they do it all the way. So yeah, you could be a casual trader, sure. Oh, look at this nice little top become a bottom. Now if that holds, certainly people are like, oh, it came back, but now it's just too crazy. It's not worth it. Like, wait for this. Like, that was a nice scalp. Now it's like the buy side's going to be here. You know, this is like going to be just hell to pay. All this space that's been forming above us and below us is going to be hell to pay. So I say, let's stand outside let's put buy limits in here now. It looks like we're going to crush down. And here's where you need to reserve. You can only buy the tiniest amounts in here because this looks like it's going to get crushed. So this delta, the triangle I'm seeing is this one to the round handle. Are we going to crush this or crush that? So we don't have to, we can let the market come to us this way. So you bought maybe a little bit here, and volatility wise, this is pretty quiet. So it's the calm before the storm. This compare like this, hedge bots made money. Hedge bots made money. We went somewhere. Here's a triangle just in sessions, you know. I'm looking to buy here now. And this looks like it's going to be an explosion. I don't know if FOMC is coming out before the news comes out sometimes. The market gets really quiet. Now there's pressure building up here. And I'm starting to go sideways. So I kind of didn't resolve the triangle in any drama yet, but there's plenty of. We're not gonna go at this price. We won't live in a 100 pip box guaranteed for the rest of time. I think I'm starting at 2019 on this chart actually. somewhere in time on the half hour. Okay, so it's breaking out here. The sellers are, the scalpers are probably getting filled on their limits here, hoping for a scalp to the bottom of that box. Okay, so they got their scalp. Yeah, so you can scalp this half hour, 4 hour. That's the 4 hour session. That's starting at 2 a.m. on the blue. And now it's like, wow, is it going to punch north? Since I'm a contrarian, I'm probably just going to put my sell limits up there and just walk away. And my buy limit's here now. So we did resolve, I guess. This could be a big trap. So if you're still holding some of your sell limits off that rooftop on that blue thing, then you're in good shape. So you can see the winning and losing trade plans. Hopefully, you can see. Well, look at this. It's in a downtrend because I connected these two guys. Closing prices, it's in a downtrend. So I just sell every rally into the vacuum. And what's the problem? I'm short right now. I made this money. I know what you're talking about. More sell limits here, buy limits here now. So in a sense, it's easier now to think about this being the buy zone, this is the sell zone, because the market's already gone nuts. And if you didn't make money on buying this, this, if you have your buy limits set here, you're willing to buy any pullback, then you're already out of your trade, I think. At least I think you should be, right? If you're anything that you did, as far as saying, well, I'll just buy the pullback here, getting in this vacuum, starting right in here, and I just bought all that shit, and I had to dump here because I knew there were sellers up here, and those people just made money back to fair value, and the market once again is going nowhere. It never ceases to disappoint. Here comes the closing last coming up on if FOMC is coming out, it could be. So if you think that's coming out, the time of day, I mean, the news does affect these markets because it's over the counter. Forex is over the counter. There's no restrictions. So you can just trade gold or you could trade crude oil on a Forex platform and not even, like, this may be too much risk for you compared to trading just really small positions in crude oil. But crude oil gets very volatile too. So when crude oil is moving $30 in one day, the people that trade with people can't do that trade, right? Most people can't do that trade. So according to my closing prices, we're now in an uptrend all of a sudden, because I'm going to take this close to here, and this is I'm using my explicit crayon. Here to here. So we kind of like we've been up, we've been down, we're closed here. Gosh, we bought here, and I'm like, not really up this much. Oh jeez. Well, we're doing better now. We're up. Could have sold here, but no. 50 pips down, 40 pips up. I guess you have to be short on something if you wanted to sell this vacuum. Otherwise, we're going to take the buy here. I'm going to set up here's your next void. So we did fill this void. And it looks like a seller's bonanza up here. There's not really a chance to even, well, you did pull back to this. There's your only chance to get on the train on the half hours to buy this. But if you're bullish from here, you only buy pullbacks. If I put up the 1 hour chart, you kind of lose the like this little bounce. You lose that on the 1 hour. You don't see that. So we're short right now based on this slot, but but I'd be very careful. I said, look, always look back at that high. Make sure that's not a 40-year high. Because it would just crush that thing north so hard you just wouldn't even believe it. I just have this clock here because I wanted to mark off how this thing is. So here is 0-100 hours. This is, I set this thing to come in at 900, so 2 a.m. to 6 to 10. Then there's nothing, so this spot here is nothing. And then the last at 2 p.m., this is when FOMC typically comes out. I didn't do it because of that, but I just wanted to have the last 4 hours be that. And then the spreads are going to get, I'm sorry, 1. And then we're going to last, just going to have the, and that when daylight savings time comes, which could be a problem on this chart right now, daylight savings time comes, it fucks us up. So you'd have to have a daylight savings time version of this, just to warn you. If you think this is the holy grail, you need to. So it's very terrible in that sense, because at some point here, it's gonna not. I have to figure out what daylight savings time is, and only test that. But it's rough estimate, or you can just take it off there. But it's kind of, or you can make it broader time frames. But that's entirely up to you. We're not responsible for any time zone changes in the daylight savings time blew up my account. You know, that's going to happen. People get pissed off daylight savings time after they built an indicator based on time. Here's another little chance to get in. So when it just nicks that session, but I'd actually be buying this area. This is like why maybe you don't even want to use something like this, but it's just to illustrate what time of day we're at. Like, I'm not saying that this, so here we're selling now. But I'd say I wouldn't be selling too much if back here is a 50-year high. All the settlements started here. It's a big rack. This is the end of the day. And we've been closing up. Perfect trend line here. Projecting the close to be here now. That's cute. Is it going to close right at my trend line on close? So it's pretty cool because you can see that at the end of the day you're up. Oh sure, I know you scalped this. You put the sell limits in, very clever, and you scalped it here, and then you got in here. So the people that trade the auction wildness, at the end of the day, you know, hey, and of course the trend traders, the real trend traders that are still long this thing for whatever reason they decided to go long, their view of the world is, okay, well, you know, my equity was swinging around, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm up. So why are you criticizing my trading again? Well, because only you could have sold this. You could have been a top tick Tommy guy, and you're up about 30 pips. You could be buying this area. You could be selling this, and now I'd be a big buyer here. I kind of like this trade now because wow, there's so much supply built up. Can't wait to put in these grids. This is 100 pips. By the way, if you bought here, back here, and you sold here, you are now up 100 pips. But how do these people do it? How do the train traders mentally cope with this situation where they bought at the end of the day here because they got a signal? I'm like, damn, this trade's going pretty good. We're up. Every day we're up a little bit. We're always closing up. Now, the guy that trailed his stop, like it's going up and up and up. So he goes, I want to protect my profits. I want to move my stop. And then it's like, oh, what happened here? Got stopped out. Oh, shit. And then, okay, here's a pullback. I'm going to buy some more. good trade. It keeps going up. I love this trade. Keeps going up. Damn. Look, it's a perfect measured move, right? Down. It's so funny. I love this time. I love if it only has to close a day. It's worth it just in that sense. I could turn off these two things, but look at this. Look at this insane money making opportunity. It has nothing to do with the trend. It is the trap. They are killing the trend traders there, right? The counter trend traders, if you think this is just by the rules of closing prices. Hey, it's making higher highs. I gotcha, but every higher high I'm selling. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Right? Which trade are you going to do? Well, I'm a trend trader. I am too. I'm a counter trend trader. I mean, I could be a counter trend trader, the backbeat, right? Here's the backbeat. Or are you saying, a closing, you can't deny every day, at the end of the day, I'm up on my account. This is what they do say in the futures markets, that at the end of the day, the accounts are settled. Are you up or down at the end of the day? Now, if you're trading without stops, that's the thing, right? And after 4 days up, some guy was talking about the Taylor method. If 3 days to 4 days, I could say, I got this trading system. I got to show you. You won't fucking believe it. You won't fucking believe it. Was it Tony Montana? I won't fucking believe it. So, sell after 4 days up. Just cash out. First pullback. 4 days up. Sell. Pullback. And so that doesn't work anymore. Oh, they're coming after my limits. I can see it. Or you sold up here. Another top tick. You're still holding your top tick, Tommy. It's all drifty now. So you could be scalper, or you could be the guy that's holding here going, nah, I'm good. Look at the weeklies. We're going up. Maybe there's a vacuum that you can see up here that you know, if I just hold on, we're going to go sucking up in that vacuum. So swing trades are completely different than scalps. And you could be right now. I'd be buying this. I guarantee you I got buy limits here all the way down, all week long, just going, come on, bring it. So this never took out the high the previous day. I'm looking for a meltdown now. I'm committed to buy this whole area, and this is where the bigger tickets are going to sit back in the shelf here. This is that wedge, so this is all old supply. There's the closing prices. We just went through the closing prices of this. So 3 days up. This is the Taylor method. 3 days up. This is the quad method here. So buy. This whole thing is a buy crush. So buy lightly here. Now you got to buy this heavy all the way down. Super deep. Now you need to have 50, 100 pip stops. Get that bad ratios. You got to get out on something here. Right, you have to get on something here. This is the closing prices from 2 days ago, and wait to scalp out of this thing on something. So you've either scalped out of something by this point, or you're going underwater and you're going to take a drawdown now. But this is a different kind of trade than scalping. And you can see there's hell to pay if we come down here. Right? If we come down here today, on this day right now, you got to have so much money available to buy this crush. if you're on the 5-minute chart, here's the only pullback. Are you short from here? So if you're short from here, you're counting on, you just auctioned, you just engulfed this day, you just took out the low of 2 days ago. This is a huge supply zone. Now it could keep tanking, but you can't deny there's supply down here that's mind-blowing, and you can't deny this is the biggest 4-hour session anywhere on this chart. This is very, very unsustainable sell-off rate. Now you need to cash out of something now. You just have to, based on the rules of the box and the structure and the fact that you just came back to a previous doji right here. This is the box that you have to cash out of. Right there, there is a bottom to become a top. So maybe you're at a 70%. I would hold the other 30% to here. I would just dump the whole thing. I might dump the whole thing right now. So based on how much money you're making, because the next trade is so easy that you could dump the whole thing right now, boom, and just come back and buy again. So if you got stopped out of this first vacuum, but you loaded heavy to here, and you loaded super heavy to here, you're already out, right? Because you came to the top of that box, right? You smacked on it. Dump the whole thing and re-rack, in my opinion, because it's so crazy now, right? Or you're slightly holding something from here, and your target needs, and then you got to get out here. So you have to go with the landscape that the market's giving you. You can't change the way people are behaving and causing the market. So everybody behaving together is causing the landscape of price to change over time as you look back into where is supply and demand? Where is the new, fresh prices? So I'd be out of that trade and looking to buy on limits now. Buy down here. That's just me. I like to buy, and I can see we're probably going to maybe drip down, and we're going to take out the low of the previous day now. This is the new, fresh prices, and this is a deeper vacuum. If you're still long from the bottom tick Betty of that day, then when this session starts, you're hoping for it to come back all the way to the target of the people that are still holding, and they're looking for this target. This will be the seller's area now. So we're just looking back 1 or 2 days. Nothing else matters. The guy that we just watched is going to say, well, see the apex of this triangle here. He's going to say, see? Let me show you how that works. He goes, we're waiting for that. The guy that I just talked about is going to say, see the apex of the triangle? No, 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 no. We do not sell top tick Tommy. We wait for it to come back to the apex of the triangle. And that's not enough. Even that's not enough confirmation for me. This is silly talk. I just bought this. Why? Because this is I'll buy everything below the low of the previous day here. So I just scalped to the box. Now I'm going to buy more. Here comes Europe open. This is critical. If we come into this box here, this will be so brutally fast. Once again, you need to cash out of something in the next hour here, because you're buying all this stuff here now. My system would be, I would totally commit to this notch of supply. Looking back, if you can see this undercut and move your trend line, on the chart. I'm going to trend line this price level, right? So you really want to get in on that, right? Right there is the notch. Now, if you're long, because I'm long under that, and that was a scalp, right? So see how fast that happened? Right to the floor. You didn't even have a chance to see that happen. I kind of missed that. I was looking over here when that. See how fast that's a half-hour chart playback. So if you just placed your buy limits down here, this is just supply and demand price trading. Has nothing to do. Well, it's just what it like this price does matter. Like this is a not anymore though. This price got taken out in that wick. The only thing that matters is this. This is like the most deep discount currently existing. So now I'd be totally out of that trade. The sellers are coming in at the floor that they took out in Asia. The whole trade's complete now. You bought everything below here. You dumped. When this thing crushed here, you bought everything below there, but the dump didn't come back to here. You had to take this trade, that wick to here, right? So you had to realize that this deep vacuum is going to get crushed. The deeper the vacuum, the harder the crush. Now we're trying to take out the high of the day. We're trying to auction this day, take out the low of this day, take out the high of this day, and do another full auction this way. And people are going to they're going to say, the trend traders on the daily are going to claim they got whipsawed. I got whipsawed on that. Here comes 6 o'clock in the morning. Stocks are, so we're queuing up. U.S. markets are opening at 6 in the morning, beginning on this tan color. Big sellers here, right to the floor. Big sellers in this whole window, and then big buyers below there. But I'm already out, right? Because my trade is just this, back into the floor, a little bit beyond. I'm not going to hold this through this because I'm just going to put buy limits in now. If I thought we were going to go up, I'm like, well, it'll probably come down, may even take out the low of the day. This is 6 o'clock. Stocks open about in the middle of this tan thing. It's now 6 o'clock in the morning. It looks like they want to crush the price here. Not that they want to, but this is the magnet. The vacuum is the, Ross Perot, the great sucking sound. This is the great vacuum suck. Here, so the vacuums are forming like this currently. And there's one right there. You see those two wicks there. So yeah, if you're holding this, you're a swing trader, you're holding this, you're looking for it to come back to this. This is going to be your big juicy target. And this is now becoming the looming abyss. Great sell off of this little slot. Wow, amazing. That's why there's always a place to buy. If you think we're going to go up here, just buy really close to put 15-minute expirations in here. Or turn on your 15-minute trolling bot. And these are all order banks here. These are all sell banks up here. Future places to. That's a good scalp. Man, anybody that stepped on that one. Good ratios off that top. So this is a little mini vac that filled. What else we got? Let's zoom in. Zoom in a little bit better here. This is a different look because now you see every half hour unfolding. You can see these trades only last about 90 minutes. Or you go super zoom out. Here we come. Taking out the wow. into the box. So I just deleted the objects there. I think I might have, they may never come back, but we don't need those objects, see. We can do, so just having the trade plan is the most important thing. Because this, like, you could draw a trend line here and go, dude, it's an uptrend, can't you see? Okay, now you buy in dips. Here's that little buy zone. You're gonna buy. You could just say, well, let's just sell here. We could have sold out. But I'm long on this box right now. Big buy here, big buy here. Just looking to the left. So without all that, so here we're just going to trade naked. We don't care what time it is. We're just trading pure price now. So there's no way to do it. It's how you feel comfortable, how you see the market. I think that's going to be the most big deal. But the truth is that this is the low from so many days ago. This is really the low from this is what we know to be true. So in the auction style, where we're trying to get insane prices, okay? We want this super low price here. And is there, so which, and this is the half-hour chart. So if I buy into this box into the close of the day, and like I said, this could be way back in time. That's going to be a problem. So it's just crushing into my buy limits right now. Probably going to go lower into the close. And when they open up in Asia, it probably would take out the low of this day. So I'm betting on the worst case scenarios always. Yeah, do this. I can't see below me now. Too zoomed in. Okay, so we did take out the low of the previous day in Asia. I'm totally long and underwater on the very top rack of tickets, the top of that box, based on my entries here. I'm getting in because of this. So those, at the top of this box, I could take off 80% of the position or 100%. But it really depends if I bought a little bit here and more, if I really bought more here than I did here in this area. This might be the swing trade, and maybe the target on this is going to be the last low that was blown out. But see how the sellers came in right here like clockwork. So you had to dump. I would dump 70% of the position here. Now I reload with limits down here. Looks like we're going to keep tanking. So it's mind-blowing. It's very mind-blowing for people. This is, Europe's about to open. And this is why people that use moving averages get annihilated in the market. Because it's really about price. Like, so if you can take out the low of the previous day, again, like, so you did it once, now you're just going to retap that thing? Yeah, it's crazy. It's a little easier in a sense now to do trade plans, because when it heats up like this, you're like, geez, they're going to go lower, count on it. So I get, especially if you're long, and you feel like, oh, they're coming after me. Huh. Robot got triggered by something here. I'm using the built-in robot. Did enough volatility there. First time I've seen a robot trade, actually. I'm using the canned MACD. MACD just got a big buy signal there. Wow. If you reverse trade MACD here, I think you make money. Invert the rules in the code. Actually, I like the trade the robot's doing. It just bought. So we're buying into these boxes. Okay, so that's, as far as I know, that's the lowest price I got on my chart. So here's a day when the volatility kicks up, you won't be able to survive this with. You need to have a 100 pip stop now. So you have 100 pip stops in here. It's coming down. You're down about 80 pips here from the ceiling, from this breakout point. But now I'm very long. And this is my new target. That's the low from back here. Oh, this is just a random low. That's just something put in. So big swing traders trade with 150 pip stops. They're loading the wagon on these kind of moves. I'd be triggered. By, I want to get in this trade so bad. See it coming screaming back to the this is people call technical damage. I call this the market. There's technical damage on this chart now. Kind of blew through my 200 moving average, my 100 moving average, and Joe came over tonight. He's got a smooth moving average. He showed me. He took it out of the box. He said, "I can't show you the whole algorithm, or I gotta kill you now." Okay, so we're coming back to that floor. I would dump the whole thing. So this is where it's difficult because if you martingaled into this where you bought just a pant load based on buying the lows of the previous day, you got to get out on something right here. You just have to, because this thing could come down here. So if I dump the whole thing here, then I come back with the buy limits. But the big swing traders, they're saying, no, we're going to take out the high of the day now. And then we're going to take out this high, and we're going to take out, and we're just going to come out, and we're just going to keep coming. Okay. Right, it's going to be a peaceful assembly. Totally dumping everything that I bought in now this box. It's coming back into that box too. So if you could afford it, and this is why the people that take the big nasty plunge make more money than a robot. See these opportunities, and I don't know how far back this low goes, but looks like we're going to take out the high of that, and the selling will come in here. Right? There's the original floor, came back through, retraced the whole thing. Whole thing's been retraced. All the way back. Here's the Asian closing prices. Closed down. We auctioned the day so far. If we took out the low of this day, right here, we took out the low of the previous day. So here's today's range, yesterday's range. Took it out. If we take out this, it'll be a complete auction engulfment. And this is when the bulls come back to town. The confirmation bulls say, well, you know what? I got a signal. I got it. I get engulfed. So hell, let's get in. Looks like it's going up. Got all the confirmation I need. She's got her shots. Her parents live somewhere else. And here's the high of the day. So the daily auction, the internal auction is complete. Do we go after this? And if you do that, then sellers galore. And So on and so on. You know the thing. Come on, man. You know the thing. That's what I'm talking about. So we have a bullish, we closed up. It's very bullish. I got my confirmation. Right? We engulfed the last 4 hours, whatever your engulfment, that's a whole nother topic, what time frame you're on. But here I'm just doing the structures. So we made it back to the floor of the big crush, dead cat bounce, scalp, mind blower. At the end of the day, you're up. So at the end of the day, you were right about the direction. Why did you blow up your account? Or why did you lose money? Why did this happen? Well, I guess if you don't look left, this giant vacuum was itching to be filled, just like this vacuum. But they're all unique. Every day, now it's filling this vacuum. You could have sold this, or you could have bought that. And it just goes on, doesn't it? No rhyme or reason, pretty brutal. Okay, so yeah, that's my playback of the half-hour chart using this indicator called I sessions. So I sessions, well, I rewrote it. It's called sessions. I think it's free out there. I think it's in my indicator bag of tricks, but they just took out that. That's a nice little entry right there, right? This is just so happens to be the little wick there. Nice scalp. Smacking on this box again. So now we got to redraw our boxes. Start over. Redraw it. Oh, gotta get out of my draw mode there. Yeah, so it's starts all over again. People are buying that because people are short from this. So when we went an auction, there's an auction within the auction, right? And now the bears are going to win if they take it down. The bears, they're going to win if it goes down. So now it's pretty tame now. It's a pretty quiet market now. We're going to do this trade. We're going to buy anything below here now and sell anything above this. Because if you didn't buy this plunge, if you didn't buy this area to scalp those little banger trades. But see, these are just short scalps, you know. I mean, these are like 10, 15 pips. It's 100 pips from here to here is 100 pips. So these are just maybe let's get a big range going. But you get the point, right? It's just on and on like this. It's just how the market's constructed. I see an opportunity here now to buy. I guess we missed this sell. So I feel like I should just buy this now. And buy based on these shelves, and certainly buy tons down here. So we're getting long. A half-hour chart. We're trying to make money in about 90 minutes to 5 days. Certainly, a swing trader it's going to take him 5 days to get paid for us, we're trying to get paid in hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours, 4 hours. So we know that. So at the end of the day, we closed here, but we knew when we went to sleep at night. We knew there was this big, uncharted, left behind prices because the bankers, they made you think the market was going up and they tricked you. That's what they do. They bought it and they bid it up and they tricked you to make you think it's going up. So everybody bought on confirmation here. They go, I got this locked in, don't worry. I put me a stop down here, we're safe. Don't you worry one bit. Or you buy here thinking, man, it's going to keep going up. No, it's not. Oh, I put a stop down here. I got confirmation it closed up. I don't understand what's going on. Uncle Ted, what's going on with the account? Meanwhile, I'm buying this whole plunge here. Autofill on limits. You said it was going up. It closed up. It was bullish and everything was fine. Yeah, no, it closed right up into the floor, though. Uh-oh. You mean structure matters? Yeah, that's right. Oof. Man, you have to load the wagon there. I'm sorry. Oof. Beautiful. Let's dump here. Let's re-rack. It's not, boy, the opportunities aren't like you think they would be, All this moving average bullshit, it's too funny. Why would you wait for a setup when you can just trade the market structure? I just don't get it. But, to each his own. Why don't you just put sell limits up here, dude? I mean, you got buy limits, you got a big, like here, cash everything out. Just go flat right there and call it a day. In fact, I'm going to call it a day right there. As soon as it takes out that wick, comes back to the order block, just dump. Now reload. So dump and reload. I would say the only thing I can say is get the largest clip you can get. Get a 20. Would it be like a Glock 40? Get a Glock 40 and get 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, 6K, 7K, 8K, 9K, 10K, 20K. You filled on a little bit. You cashed out here. You re-rack. You wait. If you would have done that here, so you're buying this void, cash out to the floor, re-rack, you never got filled. So you got to come on top now. Right? You got to go on top. Sometimes you got to switch positions, so it may be awkward. That's the thing, If you want to be in the bottom, you like that position? It's awkward for you to sell, but not if you don't have a. So people that have lost money selling are afraid to sell again. People who lost money buying may be afraid to buy again. But really, in this theory, where this bottom that you're buying here to dump to the floor, you just want to trade the. So your trade plan basically consists of you buying everything below there, and just dumping to there. You're out of the trade. So the day's over for you. You don't have to think about too much. Like, say if you bought here and you dump this stuff, that's crazy trading. But those trades are gone now. Now all that matters are these lows and these highs and this current vacuum here. So all this is like completely history. So if we rehearse these charts, we got buy limits here, we got sell limits here now, we got buy limits, sell limits in this pocket. How close do you want to get to the market? Let's see. This is still a good place to buy. This is still a good place to sell. For how long? So that depends. Let's buy this and let's sell here. So these vacuums are different because see how deep this guy goes? This really does matter. And this one, this could be the big abyss. So this is almost like asking to get crushed. It's asking to get a look at this right at the close of the day, the compression on that supply zone. Okay, we're short on something here. We just scalped out. And we got buy limits pending here. And we got more sell limits up here. And then just to make it like, okay, this is going to be your half-hour expiration sell limits. Here's your buy limits that last for maybe a little bit of time. Or you're going to drop them. This is your expecting the market to go into these windows. And maybe you're still short, looking for it to come back to here to cash out because you went short into that box. It's a lot of maybes. But I can accommodate all the maybes because I'm trading multiple tickets and multiple trade plans. So I can handle it, you know. I can't handle it when... So we have to be very careful in forex that when we look to the left, that when we see this, like so if we're in the middle of something, you can still just keep ripping, right? You could still keep ripping north. You could have kept going north here. Okay, we're getting filled on our buy limits. Those shorts worked out perfectly. So here's another one of those. Should have stayed short on that one. And now we're going to buy here all day. There's always another trade coming up, though. So if you didn't take that short up there, I think this is ripe for the pickings for some kind of... Put our bigger tickets on these wicks, on these bars, the supply zone here. The new sell zone's here now. This rectangle means nothing now. New sell zone, new buy zone. Still got this deep vacuum issue starting to pile up here. So we have a small day. We're looking for an auction coming up. We're looking to take out the low of the previous day now and take out the high of the previous day. Whichever comes first does not matter. So we're gonna position ourselves with limits coming into the next day. Looks like this. That's the low of the previous day, the high of the previous day. So we don't have to do that. We just break out and keep going, but an auction's possible. Wrapping around this day, and then we have this huge demand zone starting to pile up, and this one's far away. So I'm getting filled on the buy limit side now. Crushing into the low of the previous day. Hopefully you can take out the low of 2 days ago. So it's huge buy there. It's a trap for the people that think it's going to go up there. They got kind of trapped. They put their buy stop here. They got trapped. So we need to cash out into our first support area. We dedicated more tickets to this because of that wick, and now we're about to take out the low of the previous day. Now we're in super big. We have 50 pip stops now, 75 pips. Not one dead cat bounce in that. Zero dead cat bounce. So all your dry powder, you're buying this plunge. It's coming up on the opening of U.S. markets are going to open here pretty soon. This must be like a 3-month low we're hitting now. Something like that. I don't have the chart data going back far enough, but so this can happen too. See, this is straight down, 130 pips straight down through the floor. So unless you have your swing trades, unless you're trading with a 200 pip stop, 100 pip stop, you're never going to be able to buy this plunge. I don't even know how far back this goes, but that is a big deal. Now here comes the rest of the day. U.S. markets are open. Europe's about to close. With the rules, you need to get out of everything you bought below here. You need to dump it right there. The sellers are going to come in there. If you're a big swing trader, you're going to hold, hoping you do auction out and take out the high the previous day after all that. But the day's almost over, and now you're dropping lower. So it looks like you're going to have to be a buyer to the end of the day. And if we take out the low of this day here, we're going to have to buy more. So it's really just, it's so insanely counterintuitive. To counter trend trade like this and range trade like this is just brutal. That's why you need to play it back to give yourself the confidence to step in front of some of these trains. It really depends how much money we're talking about, but so here we are. I think we're just going to go down another 30 pips here, but just crushing it through the floor. Pretty mind-blowing. People's heads are exploding at this point. And if you're short, you're wondering, gosh, should I take profits here? I would get ready to. So here's the new floor to scalp to. So if you're here to see this happen and you're dropping your tickets right in front of it, it's kind of exciting. It's the only excitement really in limit trading is you see this new void and you're like, okay, let's put another rack in there. I still got a rack in from back here. Underwater on all these tickets. So 100 pip stop on this, you got stopped out. If you bought here with a 100 pip stop, you're stopped out. With a 150 pip stop, you're still in. Here's a little trend trade. Top becomes a bottom. Get on that half-hour downtrend. But I just can't think like that because I'm not gonna jump on the trend this late. I think you missed the trade by not selling up here somewhere, or even having a stop entry for this crush. But I just can't perceive it as being worth, and now I'm going to buy more if it drops here, actually. The day's not over, and we probably take out the low of this day when the next day opens up. Almost guaranteed now. But like I said, we could be wrong, and we could be so I'm counting on being wrong because I just bought so much, you know. I bought everything below here. I definitely bought crazy below here with all limit entries, and if at the end of the day we close up here, it means that it's less likely that we're going to nick the wick from the previous day and just then take off. But we're kind of just still dripping down here. Looks like we might close about here. So that's another thing you can test yourself on. Where do you think we're going to close at? So if I'm not in the market yet, imagine I didn't buy yet. I'm going to start stacking my buy limits up like this now. And maybe I have to buy some at the market here. I'm thinking, Jesus, how much more can this thing go down? But you'd be surprised. You'll always be surprised. Okay, so this is my new resistance. I have to blow that out. Still holding the swing trades. All the swing traders are holding on, hoping for the giant rally where we take out this, and it's like, holy shit. I wish this was playing back faster. This is as fast as I get it to play back. Oh well. Yes, the clock is not connected to the chart, unfortunately. Maybe I can just grab the hands of the clock and speed it up here. Okay, finally we're coming back to the where the trend traders got in to go short. Just the waiting game of waiting games. We didn't quite take out the low of the previous day, but we came very close to it. I still think we could do it. It's just so close, you know, to here. Buy limits sitting in here, a lot of them. And the only kind of is like the buy window. Okay, now here's the trap. They trapped these guys, and now we're getting filled. All right, it's a higher probability that we're going to be better off buying down here. And they just took out the low a little bit. And everything in this box should be taken off the table. At the top of the box, and maybe you're still holding some wide stop swing trades from previous days, and you're not out of those yet. So I'd definitely be buying this box for the whole day. I'll commit to buying 200 pips deep. So this is quite a commitment. I feel like I'm getting married or something. I'll buy for the next 200 pips, darling. So these are huge commitments. If you're going to buy here for the next 200 pips, you didn't make too much money there, not yet. Here, once again, are these going to be long-term or short-term trades? That's going to be the biggest question. How long do you want to be in the market? How many dollars can you risk per hour, per week, per session? And I don't see the point in saying, well, you know, we should be selling this because it's in a downtrend. I just can't imagine. These trends just don't exist. Sorry. This trend's coming to an end, as far as I'm concerned. Just buying, just loading up here, ready to buy down here again. I'm just too stubborn. I'm never going to be able to trend trade properly. There's no trends. It's in your mind. Besides, trend means it keeps going. Just the whole idea of something keeping going is just impossible. So now we're looking to come after this area and waiting for it to drop down more. So it's relaxing in a way. If you got enough money, you're going to start buying here again. It's obvious. You want to keep buying as it goes down. Build a big position under the floor. And maybe it's going to take you 3 days to get paid on the swing trade, but you're building for a rally into where the world came to an end back here. So it's just a structured trade, really. Let's put the trend line on, the one we're trying to break. The trend line that we need to break. It's such just representation of the void above us, and we're looking to break that downtrend line. We could also be buying every half hour sell off and building a position in this rectangle here. So here's an accumulation phase. It's going sideways. Here's a distribution phase sideways. Then a markdown. The markdown's hard. We're accumulating here now, possibly, but we could still, this could be a distribution for a big markdown. A markdown could be coming. So distribution is just nothing but sideways or accumulation here. So the sideways, the hedge robots are building on this thing now like crazy. They're just like, okay, which way? This is too big of a sideways for the hedge bots. The hedge bots want to see a tight congestion, and then they want to see it break up or down. They're going to make money on that. So bang, bang, bang on this floor, bang in this window. Below the round number, we just keep trading sideways. Now, this is the low of the previous day. We want to buy down here again like we did this low of the previous day. I want to keep buying into these new lows. The better price is below you. So don't buy at the market here. If you just keep saying the better price is always below you, okay, maybe you build a position here over time. So now I would not touch this trade. I would not chase it and buy it. I'd only do that. I'd only do that with limits trailing. If it does go up, I'd only do it with limits trailing beneath it. Or I just sit there and move my targets. So there's so many ways to manage the trade once you're in it. You can either move your targets up, saying, if you're not in a big position, then just move your targets up higher and higher to here. Move all your targets to here. So if you're afraid to buy this box, and you're supposed to scalp out, the rules don't change for this box looking forward. You got to get out. Now you're in the seller's window again. And we could still tank. We can always still tank. Nothing's for certain, but we can hold off until we hit this supply zone. We can carry these things forward now on the chart. This is still a real price. This doesn't matter. This is still a real price. Your cash out was here. The sellers are going to come in on this slot. And you're still holding. Let's try to imagine the future now. You're still holding. You came back and retested Asia session. But we're still holding our big trades. This was the accumulation phase. We popped up into this void by this box marked off. So we need to, not the people that are sold, now people are buying this, and they got to crush this line. I think I'm flying back. It looks like we're too far from, right now, from tagging this. We could still take out this low, though. The sellers grabbed this area. They've got it. So now I got my buy limits here. I'm trying to add to the position and then eventually smack through this. Then take out this void, crush into that. Super quiet day. So I'm going to take this and make this the new accumulation everything under this floor is accumulation now. It's a big accumulation phase. This accumulation's, this one's slightly above, or it's going to be distribution for a giant markdown. All the wicks are telling me that people are building a hedge here. There's just too many wicks, and it's happening all in this area. Another buy. Keep buying new lows there for the scalp portion. Wow, this is a lot of deadness under this floor here. I think the robot's starting to play back slower and slower. I don't know what's going on here. Wait. Just not a lot of trading, I guess. We need a lot of ticks. The market seems to move. That's just so dead here. So this is pretty tough. You know, the swing traders have to endure this dead in the water down in the deep discount prices. It does look like accumulation to me, this whole thing. Or if it's distribution, we're gonna just keep tanking. Then you're gonna get stopped out. Okay, getting filled on my nick the wick from the previous day tickets now. Just get that amazingly good price down there. Wait for the pullback. I mean the rally. Don't necessarily have to get it, but this is the box that everybody is scalping to the top of, and we are severely long. And we're saying that this is accumulation. Everything below here now for the last day and a half. Oh, I guess the robot's done. Jesus. What the fuck? There's no way that was 3 years of data. I'm sorry. That can't be right at all. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with this thing. There's no data on this broker or something. Anyways, that's my unless we blew up the account. I don't know what happened there. I'll take a look. That's the other option. No, we made money actually. Look at that. Using MACD. So I don't know what happens here in the future, but I would be long here. How's this play out? I'm kind of curious. I think it does. Doesn't have to, but let's look at the whole. This cannot be. Something went wrong there. There's something wrong with my computer data. This is only like 20 days look back. And I picked a session that is so far back. I mean, this is just bullshit. I don't know how this doesn't work. I did a 50-minute chart. I'll pick a different start date. At least that should be proper. So waiting for the data to come in. 15-minute chart. Still collecting data. Take forever. Okay, 15-minute chart's faster. You gotta think on your feet here. Okay, so we bought that. That's the new low. Always want to do that. We got sells up here. So it's just like that, on and on again, rinse and repeat. Pretty much not very glamorous. Not a very glamorous profession, but that's how it looks to me. Is I cash out right now. So if I bought down here, I cashed out. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. This is 6 o'clock in the morning. Sellers up here, buyers down there. I put some buy limits here now. Big sellers up there. Sell, sell, sell. And they're going to cash out when it pulls back to here. And they cashed out. That's a scalp on the 15. So you can watch the 15 and feel safe that your 15-minute scripts that you're dropping, half-hour scripts, this is close to the market trading here, where you're just going to put in short expirations. 1 hour, half hour, 15 minutes. Getting filled on those tickets, and you're cashing out. If you buy here, cash out. Buy this, tight targets, cash out. So if you're going to really come this close to the market, when you buy here, you got to sell. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. It's completely different than saying, I'm going to buy down here, I'm going to sell up here. Very close to the market, buy, sell, buy, sell. It's like, ends up like this. It's fucking nuts, right? Like, oh my God, all the trading I did in there. Jesus, right? For the love of Pete, I can't see the market. Anyways. Coming after the high of the day, you got sell limit banks up here. You got buy limit banks down there. Buy limits here. Maybe just sold this. Buy, sell, buy, sell. Just keeps on going nowhere. You know, you bought here, you took a drawdown, you were up on the account. Now you're just right. Your balance just keeps coming back to where you were. I'm just not getting anywhere in these trades. I don't know what's going on. Pretty tough. Pretty tough, man. But some people don't mind waiting to the end of the day for this entry. Look, it went up. What are you talking about? I'm up. It's probably going to close up here, right? This looks like a sweet buying zone. Big sellers up there. And they want to cash out here. Last known top. So sell here, buy it back here. Buy this, sell that. Big buys here. Big sells way up here somewhere, I'm sure. Sell that. Cash out here now. If it comes back. Doesn't have to come back, but certainly if it does, you want to cash out here. Sell, sell, sell. Cash out. The ultimate target's going to be here now for the sellers. Here's our short-term targets. Well, they got their big target. 15-minute chart is pretty fast. I mean, look, you got your target here. Here's the buyers are supposed to come in, the previous support. They don't have to. We get crushed down here. So that's a prime example of selling into this to cash out to the high probability scalp. Now sell again, do the same trade. And I have buy limits there now and here, tickets all the way to here now. Every day's an IQ test. Actually, it's an emotional test if you're. But who's not feeling some type of emotion, right? Who's not feeling some type of tension, waiting for the close of the day? Is it going to be another up day? We were up this day a little bit. Now we're really up. Oh, we're up big time. We were really up today. What happened? Oh, I don't know. It looks like they're going to carve out this thing now and crush this. I know, I just went long here on the close. What's going on now? Why am I in a drawdown? Well, son, there's people trading around you that don't give a fuck. They went short up here and they're waiting to cash out at the bottom of the box. They just don't give a fuck about you. Here's the pivot that needs to hold. Here's a nice vacuum buy. Sell, sell, sell. Cash out. It's got to come back to here for the scalp. It just keeps going up though. Gotta have yourself a lot of dry powder for this game. God knows what that price is going into now. Big sellers up in there. Big old sell programs going in there. Got to cash out partial profits here. Take the whole thing off at the bottom of the box. All the sells you're in. Okay, we took off half the position. Take off the whole position here. Cash out. I got buy limits down there, sell limits up there. You know the thing. Come on, you know the thing. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. We could trade anything like this. Anything that goes up and down, we can make money from.